Take my scarf off.
Let that be light.
Hey y'all, I'm Jenna Kim. I left the US to go
back to Africa.
Just kidding. Not yet. I moved to Southeast Asia with my partner in the beginning of 2020, and life is pretty good. In case you didn't know, there's a rapidly growing movement of African American people, of Black people, of millennials, of women. Maybe they want to see the world. Some of them are
sick of the bullshit
and wanted to explore their options overseas. You can travel abroad without being rich. You don't have to have rich parents, or be bilingual. It doesn't matter. If you'd like more on how to do so, I would love to tell you. You just have to kind of know what you're doing, and it's really not that hard. So if you'd like more videos on how to do so, how I did it, I would be happy to tell you. I'm trying to get the word out. So when I first began to tell people that I wanted to live abroad,
Yeah, I want to move to maybe Vietnam or Thailand.
they were like,
girl what?
a lot of people don't understand why I would want to live outside the United States, so far away. But I have my reason. Nah, just a few things. If you are looking for a video that's all rainbows and butterflies,
Girl.
this is real life. It's not always perfect. It's not always pretty, but it can be beautiful if you build a beautiful life for yourself. And that's what this channel is all about. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the reasons why I left. Why? So it's the beginning of 2016. At this time, I was already abroad in Turkey, but keeping a close eye on the 2016 political election. And a certain orange TV personality was running for president. But I was like, girl, ain't nobody gonna elect him, right? Right?
Jay Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president.
I've always read up on politics in the news, on online forums and discussion boards and things like that. And I just noticed that the rhetoric was really changing, as in getting more racist. White folks just letting their freak flags fly high. A lot of homophobia, a lot of racism, just a lot of just negative, nasty, dirty things just flying all around out there in the news, on TV. I already peeped the direction our nation was headed, and look at where we are today. The way many people of color in America are having to live in a constant state of anxiety and paranoia is tragic. It's frustrating, sad, and being a young Black woman living in the legacy of the South, it was heavy. Not only are you constantly triggered by the news, you're always worried about making the wrong move or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Always living in fear of being pulled over and the potential that anything I said or did could escalate to a whole new level. Girl. Really living and existing in a country that doesn't have the legacy of Black enslavement and Jim Crow is a whole different vibe. I can't describe the lightness you walk with when you aren't afraid. I'm not the fanciest chick, but I do love a clean place to live. I like to open my window and see like a nice view. I like going for walks at night. That's a thing.
That's a thing.
But most importantly, I want to feel safe. But with rapid gentrification in the US, rising property taxes, and rising rents, it's become harder and harder to actually live well in a way that's affordable for the average person.
Can you say gentrification, boys and girls?
According to a recent study, Atlanta is the 4th fastest gentrifying city in the US. And let me tell you what that looks like. That looks like all the good stuff, like the healthy supermarkets, the nice clean parks.
All the good goodies, the good goodies.
That's reserved for the areas that people can afford those high property costs. They can afford the rents in those areas. But there are many places abroad where you can enjoy a really high standard of living. You can have pretty low rent if you want to. You could be like a baller and get some. Don't do that. Or you can get a really nice place that's beautiful to live and has access to all the good things. So just to give you a frame of reference for what I'm talking about, my city, which is Chiang Mai, Thailand, I'm paying $470 a month. I have a really nice garden on the side, which is pretty much a yard. We just call it gardens here. I don't know. There's no garden there. There's grass, but there's no flowers. But there's a few. I don't know. Anyways, Wi-Fi is about 700 baht, which is like $12, $13 USD. And then for my phone bill, it's like $6 a month. Ooh. The low cost of living is definitely something that attracted me to Chiang Mai. I really loved how you can have really great dental work done here and medical services. The rent was pretty cheap and the utilities were as well, but then you didn't compromise with the technology. And there's a lot of conveniences here that you can get very similar, if not better, to back home. So that was really attractive. What's the thing you miss most about your childhood? What I missed most was having time to do my hobbies and the things that I really enjoyed. I always loved dancing. I loved reading books, doing pottery, painting, all the things. If I could get my hands in it and it was messy, I wanted to do it. And I kind of still do. In the States, I was working so hard to pay bills and just keep up with the rat race. I had no time to really get into the things that I really enjoyed and I liked. I mean, if anything, I had time to maybe go to the gym sometimes. But life isn't all about working. It's not. Like, we weren't put on this planet just to go to work. But I think that so many people base their identities off of what they do for work because it's all they do. Now, I wanted to have more time to really explore myself and the things that I really love. So I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to have time to study. I wanted to have time to learn new skills and really like hone into the things that I was good at so that I can develop those talents. And I feel like you're able to do that here. In the States, it's just all about like 9 to 5, if you're even doing 9 to 5. So at one point I had a 9 to 5, I had a side hustle, and I had some freelance stuff online. It was just, it was a lot, okay? And I just feel like many people are having to live like that because things are so expensive. In Thailand, I still work. I just have a better work-life balance that I couldn't find in the United States. I have time to go to a dance class during the week. I can do yoga on the weekends or at home. I can take a pottery class here. By the way, all these things are affordable, okay? That's something else that's important. Some people here are doing different things like teaching English, they're into tech. I can make a whole nother video about just the different things you can do so that you can be location independent.
But we ain't talking about that right now.
Right now, I'm just talking about the fact that you don't have to work in a way, if you're here, if you plan for it, that takes away from the time that you can give back to yourself and invest in yourself. It's done wonders for my mental and emotional health. And that's it, y'all. Those are the reasons why I left the US. Does that mean that things are going to be perfect if you leave and it's going to be a ray of sunshine? Girl, no. But if the benefits of somewhere else outshine the risks and the inconveniences actually going there, or you find that you can find somewhere else that serves your soul better, I think it's incumbent upon ourselves to make that choice and check it out and at least see where you can be your most free, where you can be your most authentic. You deserve to be happy and most importantly at peace. If you'd like to hear more about what it's like to be an expat abroad, how to make those first steps to become an expat abroad, and just more stories about like what it's like out here, please subscribe. I'd be happy to tell you. I love sharing this information with people because it's possible. I didn't have a lot of resources, but I did do a lot of research. I did so much research before I did it, and it definitely paid off. And I think that if you're interested, I have a lot of knowledge that I could share with you. So hit the subscribe button if you want to know some things, get some tips maybe. Thanks for listening, y'all, and see you next time on A Journey with Jay.